And good morning and welcome to VSA Capital 5 Minute Morning Miner on Tuesday, November the 22nd. And we had a great victory for England against Iran yesterday, 6-2. Paul, the USA played pretty well in the first half, but Wales played much better in the second half. So it was 1-1 draw. How did you feel about that match?
Yeah, and Wales got a lucky break there with the penalty right there at the end of the game that allowed them to level up. So I would say overall it was a draw, so which it was.
Well, I was about to say it was a draw. There's no question about that, Paul. The bookies have America just favourites actually to succeed from the group ahead of Wales, but we will see. It is a quiet week this week because it's obviously Thanksgiving as well. I'm sure you'll be getting ready for that, Paul, on Thursday. And of course, Mining 1-to-1 gets underway today. We've got Mines and Money next week. So we may well have a few companies just putting out announcements to updates that they can present at these conferences, but they don't actually really tell you an awful lot, I don't think. The uranium price is perking up a little bit, isn't it, Paul?
Yes, it is. We have a little bit of improvement here. We're back to $50 on a spot rate for yellow cake, and hopefully it's a start of a new trend to move higher, I think.
I think that there is a growing realization that nuclear power at the moment is coming back on, and that an awful lot of the uranium is unfortunately owned by Russia and Kazakhstan, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Between those two players, as well as the two Canadian players, Denison and Cameco, that's probably 70%, 80% of global uranium supply.
Yeah, so very easy to get a little bit of a squeeze going. Anyway, I didn't really see anything that got me excited this morning in terms of news flow, but anything that got you excited, Paul?
Well, first we can talk about Shanghai Mining Club member Cerrado Gold. They have a new gold zone confirmed there parallel to their Serra Alta zone there in Brazil. They've named it E3, and it lies about 150 meters east of the previously outlined east zone at Serra Alta. It's got some good grades in it there. 48 meters at 2 grams and 4 meters at 60 grams are notable numbers that have come back from it here recently. So we hope we can get some significant volume out of the new trend here. And being about 150 meters away, it will probably get caught up in the existing open pit model for the east zone to some extent.
Okay, and I see, I mean, just on our clients that we talk a lot about, Atlantic Lithium, the Azure group has actually just been buying stock, hasn't it? And it's raised its stake above 25%, which is nice to see. Obviously very positive, but that's all there. Maybe it's worth talking about a bit of news out of Helium 1, which used to be one of the big punters' favourites, less so now. What was that, Paul?
Well, you call it good news, but I'm not so sure. Helium 1 has essentially changed drilling contractors for their next phase of drilling down there on the Rukwa project in Tanzania. But what it makes, it is a more flexible use rig, but they have specifically said it's going to cost them quite a bit more than what the first two companies' accepted bid was, because there is apparently some legal complications where they can't use the previously selected company. So it just seems to me that Helium 1 keeps running into issues that end up harming the overall investment case for shareholders. So they really do need to show a really good discovery now, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you caught your eye?
Yes, two things. So first of all, London-listed aggregates producer Sigma Rock has signed a deal to capture carbon emissions from their aggregates operations. Equipment will be installed along with a venture with a firm called Aqualung, and it's a European carbon capture company that will install industrial scale CO2 emissions capture from the kilns that Sigma Rock uses in order to create cement. And the abatement of emissions from the cement industry is one of the major places which they call the hard to abate sector. for emissions. So with success, they will definitely be on course to beat their earlier targets and get a full rollout, they hope, if it works out by 2030. The other company wanted to mention for sure, ASX listed Q Mines. Q Mines has doubled the compliant resources within 18 months here of acquiring the Mount Chalmers project and doing their IPO listing. It's this VMS set of deposits or cluster of deposits now totaling over 10 million tons at a grade of 1.2% copper. And a lot of these zones are still wide open to expansion. So you got to keep being very close to surface. It means larger open pit development from what had historically been small open pits before. And this thing just keeps looking better and better.
Very good. All right. Well, I'll let you go off to one, Paul, and see if you can come back with some great ideas from that. And we can speak again tomorrow.
Very good. See you then.